I got a few surprises for you too, baby.
Can see that there's an amazing person sitting right next to me. Look how beautiful she is. So do you want to introduce yourself?
So hi, my name is Zainab Mohammed and I am 23 years old. I am the owner of Social Liaise Agency. We're a STEM-based marketing agency and we provide our services for STEM companies. I'm also an ex-model and also an author. So yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I am so humbled to be around you. The fact that you're an author, that's amazing.
I'm humbled to be around you, honestly.
Aww.
That's what I should be saying.
Thank you, babe. I'm so glad that you agreed to come onto the show because I think that it's really important that we have a conversation together. We're both Nigerian women and, you know, in our prime at the moment, making moves. Creating businesses. Yeah, exactly.
I thought the main one is what trying.
We're on the way. Yeah, we're making the journey. We're making that journey. So I just really wanted to, you know, ask you a couple of questions and kind of get, you know, pick your brain a bit and see what you're about.
That's exciting.
So to get started, I really want to know, what is Socialize? What is your company about? What does it stand for?
So Social Liaise Agency is a STEM-based marketing agency and we provide these services such as social media management, branding and digital marketing to STEM companies. So Social Liaise came about, I believe, at the end of uni for me because I've always been working with fashion brands, helping them with marketing and whatnot. But whilst doing that, I studied industrial design engineering and I've always been fascinated about how to fix things, how things come well together, you know, as a prosthetic user. So yeah, so I decided to mix both of my passion of STEM and also my passion for marketing together. And just, that's how Social Liaise was born, basically.
Wow. So it's Social Liaise. So yeah. Earlier I said Socialize. So Social Liaise.
Yeah.
And where can you find Social Liaise?
So we have a website and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So yeah.
Amazing. LinkedIn as well. That's good. So I wanted to sort of pick your brain a bit about Social Liaise and sort of see how can our audience gain anything from this company? How can they get involved?
I feel like it's just mainly interacting with our company because our main thing is getting the youth involved in STEM, because you see a lot of youth these days, they try and go into the beauty industry or fashion industry, but in the way the world is moving right now, tech is where everything is. Even what I'm wearing is tech. You know, this is what is making the world better, and it would be great to get younger people involved in, you know, branding for these kind of companies, you know, just kind of secure their spot in that STEM world, you know. And we need more women. It's not even just women, we need more Black disabled women in that industry. Mm-hmm. So that was part of my passion of, you know, building Social Liaise to liaise socially with everyone.
Okay, amazing. And so would they need to sign up? How can they get in touch with you? Just DM you?
It's just mostly through DM and emails. But right now, our module is B2B, so it's business to business. So we haven't sorted out, you know, business to consumer just yet. But the big plan is to get the youth involved.
Amazing. All right, cool. I do want to know quickly, what is STEM? Because I don't even know what that is.
So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Ah, I think I've actually heard of that before. I actually had a support worker in uni. She my scribe. She used to write my notes for me, and she was doing the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best industry to be in. I can't lie, because things are always changing. You know, and where you are today, you can be like somewhere better the next day. You know, that's the best thing about that industry. Something is always changing, it's always getting better, and it's always teamwork. You know, there's a lot of industries where you can go ahead by yourself and start something new, but STEM is always about, you know, bringing in researchers, bringing in people that are in the industry to learn from their mentors and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's why I think it'll be great to get the youth there, because we need a lot of guidance in this world that we're in now, especially because we don't know how it's going to turn out.
In the last episode, I interviewed a man called Lee Lawrence, and he actually has a company that I think you might benefit from. So the aim is, by the end of the season, to get everybody together at some point and sort of do like a group session and see whether everyone wants to like mix and mingle and get to know each other and network, basically.
That would be amazing. As long as there's champagne, no problem. I'll be there.
Alright. I'll try to make sure there's champagne. Just for you, especially with your name.
Oh, alhamdulillah, Kasira.
Cool. Okay, so I've got some questions. I'm just going to have a look on my phone. So what does the word accessible mean to you? Accessible can mean so many different things, especially in the corporate world and in business. So to you, what does it mean?
I feel like my term of accessibility is very general, whether it's in the business world, private world, blah blah. It's just about everything being easy. There doesn't have to be like, you know how like sometimes people say, oh, you have to take the stairs to life or something like that. When there's an elevator, you know, it's like making things easier for people to get from point A to point B. Because people with disabilities, it's not easy to even get from your bed to the toilet, if you get what I mean. So accessibility is just openness, letting there be ease of movement.
Okay. Yeah, because I think there are some people in the world, the way I came with this question was because, the way I came about this question was because yesterday I was walking in Greenwich. I was just taking a little peruse around, and I overheard this lady say, I think it was the university she was talking about, and she said, it's so, it needs to be more accessible. And then she saw me in my wheelchair, and she went, I mean accessible as in being able to find it. Imagine.
We know that's not what you meant.
I was like, wow. The boldness.
She said I would really try and finesse the sentence.
Yeah.
She said, no, sorry, no, it's not your disability that made me think that. Of course not. It could never be.
Imagine. I was like, so to me, that's not accessible then.
That's for me, that's why I say accessibility is about ease. It also comes from the people without disability. You need to feel like we need to be able to access you as well. You know, be comfortable enough to ask questions, even if you make mistakes saying the wrong thing. Make that mistake in front of someone with a disability that can correct you so you don't make it again. But if you're scared to make mistakes, saying accessibility means one thing when it does, no, you're going to confuse yourself and you're going to confuse everyone else.
Literally, it's literally crazy. Like, it was just the way she did it, and she looked at me square in my eye. I was like, hey,
it's the fear.
She has boldness. Oh my gosh. Okay. Say no more. So I said, today I'm going to talk about it on my show.
She said easy to find.
Is
it? That's what accessibility means now. Of course, if it's easy to find, it's accessible.
Like serious. Okay. And you know what's so funny? I haven't got this written down, but what I realise is there's a lot of technology that able-bodied people benefit from and don't even know that it was created originally for us.
Yes.
like iPads were created originally for those who could not speak.
Okay, you see, I did not know that.
Did you not?
I did not know that. Me, I will tell the truth and let the devil be ashamed. I did not know that. Seriously?
Yeah, wallah.
So what's everybody else doing with it? They should go and return it to Apple. Everybody should go and return it to Apple now.
Listen, and the thing is, I use my phone the same way it was originally made for. So you know, like how people type their notes and be like, I don't type my notes. I get my phone to type it out all for me.
So you're speaking?
Yeah, and then it types it for you. That's how I did my exam.
Yeah, if I try that thing.
Yeah.
The amount of wrong things you say, because my accent would just go, Siri, can you help me write this something? And Siri would be like, I cannot help you write that something.
It's true. need a translate for a translate.
Honestly, you need to have a pure British accent, and you need to enunciate. For if you cannot enunciate, leave Siri alone. For real. Siri is not your spec. Honestly.
Facts. Absolute facts. Right. Next question that I have for you is creating a career path when you are disabled or when you have a disability and you're a model. Is it harder?
Yeah. It's 10 times harder. You know, as a black woman, you know how they say you have to work 10 times harder than a white person. When you have a disability and you're black and you're not Muslim, you have to work 100 times harder for people to see you. Like, I remember when I first started in the modeling industry, it was a thing whereby I would just do anything, whether it was paid or not paid, just because I'm trying to get who I am out there for other people who have PFFD and stuff like that. But I saw how difficult it was. It was, even though they say, oh, we accept people with disabilities, they're still trying to fit people with disabilities with that body image. And that's the one thing I had to remember, because I was like, me too, I'm not a skinny babe like that, you know, so how can I really fit myself? And I realized it was starting from small, you know, like all these little brands.
You have to prepare, like, is there extra preparation for you to get ready when you're going out?
Yes. Like, I have to get my mind set that I'm gonna get up first, because I don't know what can happen when I get up. It's either I feel pain in my lower back or I get like a really bad nerve shock. So it's like I prepare my mind, and then once I do that, like I have to always get help from my siblings or my mom to get ready, because the older I get, I realize that things are getting harder. You know, as we're younger, it's easy to bend down, this kind of stuff, but now it's crazy. Even I don't even go up the stairs anymore. So yeah, it's crazy.
What, at all?
At all.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Do you just do the trip and stuff, or?
It's also because just like how getting up, you don't know what can happen. It's like if I put one foot first, I don't know if I'll get a shock and if the other leg can be able to handle my weight. So I don't like to risk anything, basically.
No, I hear it. I when I was younger, I've got brittle bones. So when I was younger, I used to be so carefree, and I'd fall out of my wheelchair how many times, and it was nothing.
You won't laugh.
But yeah, literally, you will laugh and get back up. But now, hey,
If I fall
I will
out,
be looking at every dot, every stone.
you get? No, I need 5 to 6 business days to get up from that floor.
Literally.
I don't know, let me just relax here for 2 days, you know? Let me get my mind right and I'll get up.
Yeah. Legit.
Yeah,
it's so difficult. Like, it's not the same. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is: do you think being an African woman and disabled affects the way people treat you?
I feel like some people try to make. I don't know. This is a hard question. It's a very hard question, because I feel like because of the kind of person I am, you can't say anything to hurt me. Or even if you're trying to say it, it won't land. It will never land. So I just, no, I don't think I've ever had that kind of kidney.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So when you're in Nigeria, you get respect.
Yeah, basically, because I just use my disability to my advantage. Let me be honest with you. Like, it's not like me, I'm out here every time trying to save the world. I'm really not trying to save the world at all. Like, if there's a club and there's a full ass line, me, I'll say, sir, I'm so disabled. If I stand up for 2 minutes, I would die. You have to let me inside. So I will use it to my advantage. I will get there quicker, you know. So I feel like that's why I don't stress as much. But because a lot of other people with disabilities, I've noticed, they was like, oh, I don't know what they'll think of me, you know, this and that. But when you stop giving a fuck, people will not give a fuck with you.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I think I grew up around able-bodied people, so for me, I didn't just grow up in like a bubble. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't mollycoddled at home. Do you know what I mean?
They will treat you how they treat
Yeah, you go and do the washing.
But I cannot reach it. May God make you reach it. Inshallah, Rabbi.
Yeah, honest to God.
And
Literally.
it's pushing. It's good though.
It's good. Like, if I have a child with a disability, obviously I am not going to mollycoddle them. I'm going to make sure they know, listen, hello, sister, brother, get your bum up.
Yeah.
If you have to crawl.
Yeah, we'll crawl together, no problem.
Rubbish.
If you meet her off my prosthetic,
Yeah, let's crawl.
we'll get to the sink together.
Honestly. Because that little bit of
Yeah, and you learn it at home. That's the thing. Because if I didn't learn a lot of my confidence at home, I'll be outside acting scared and stuff. But at home, like my siblings, they'll push me around. They'll act like they even forget I'm even disabled. Sometimes even me too, I'll wake up, I'll be like, I'm using prosthetic. Like that's how normal it is in my house. And then when I go outside and I see people staring, and I'm like, what is this?
What is it? Yeah.
And then I look at my leg and I'm like, oh. So I don't forget you at home. I carried you with me. You know? So it's one of those things. It's so normal for me to be normal that being outside, people trying to make me feel abnormal, they look abnormal. You know?
Yeah.
So we just need to normalize peace like this, honestly.
Honestly, and I don't know how I want to be able to bottle that up and put it out as a training thing or something.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's so many disabled people who message me and DM me and say, oh, I wish I could be as confident as you. And I'm like, but you know.
She's at home.
Yeah.
For real. Like, honestly, like there's this girl as well that I know. She told me she's not very confident, this and that. But then at the same time, she has a mother that, it's not pity, but you know when a mother, like every mother worries, but if you're worrying about one child more than the other, the child will notice. And then they will start to feel one kind of feel like, oh, is she worried I'm going to fall? Maybe if I go outside, I'm going to fall. Maybe I shouldn't go outside today. Maybe I should stay still. Maybe like you would doubt yourself so much. So having a mother that is always like, are you okay? If you fall. Just fall and then we'll sort out the consequences, you know. But if you are scared of falling, the day you fall, you won't know how to get back up. You really wouldn't. And that's the truth. So I feel like a lot of people just need to normalize raising their kids with disability like they don't have a disability, because really and truly they don't.
Literally,
it's
the world. It's the world that has got the problem,
yeah.
And it should be the other way around. People with kids that are able-bodied, you guys have to do the work. It's your job to do the work. You need to put in the effort to go and get books that are teaching kids from young ages about disability. If you're looking to have a child, don't just have a child and that's it. Do you not know that they have to come across people like us? Like they need to know manners. They need to understand what is what and where is where, and they need to understand that we're human beings as well. Dating us or being our friends is not something to be ashamed of. That's
or something to pity or feel like because you're friends with. Because this is the mentality about a lot of Africans. If I am nice to this girl that has a disability, maybe God will reward me. That's the mentality of a lot of black people, and it's very crazy to even think like that. And like you start to see it in the way people even move as well. It's like, why are you even friends with me in the first place? People are very, very strange. They're very strange, honestly.
Weird,
very weird. They have their own insecurities as well. And people think like having a disability is the biggest insecurities. No. It's here. This is what will kill you. Your mind. All this one is accessory, really and truly.
Literally.
But your mind, if your mind is not right, even your leg will not be right.
Right.
Because your mind controls how
everything.
you walk, everything.
Your heart, your spirit, your whole blood, everything. What do you like watching, as in entertainment-wise, and is there anything that you avoid watching?
But they are a TV show fanatic. Like, I can sit down with them one day and I'll finish everything. I'll act as if I don't have work, as if I don't have job, as if I don't have anything to do. For real.
Okay. You've made it your mission, yeah?
No, it's my life mission. I do have a list on my phone.
No.
I have a list on my phone for every single thing I've watched, and they're all segmented from 2015 to now.
I am done.
Yes, sir.
That's funny.
I watch a lot of K-dramas at the moment. I just like how delusional they are. Because sometimes some babe will be falling down, will take her 3 to 5 business days. I'm like, me too, when I want to fall down, I want to take me 3 to 5 business days. I don't want to land just like that, you get? Let's just fall, like in Bollywood movie,
I hear it.
But yeah, I avoid watching anything that has to do with sadness. See, I know a lot of people like watching those movies where it's like romantic and they will cry, somebody have died, and I don't like that kind of stuff, no. Please. Because
I avoid it altogether.
Yeah, I don't like feeding my brain anything that is sadness. Because even though it's like it doesn't have anything to do with you, you will still find a way to connect it to your own life. And I feel like that's a lot of things with media and stuff. So when I'm watching something that I enjoy, I have to enjoy it. I don't want to cry. I just want to laugh. That's it.
That's it.
Simple.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That's a good motto. Okay, so with that being said, what is your favourite old school artist and your favourite new school artist?
Old school artist. Okay. Sounds hard small. Okay, can I use one of my Nigerian people?
Of course, you're Nigerian. Give them.
Okay, no problem. I'm gonna say she's not really old school.
Okay.
Tiwa Savage.
Oh my god!
Tiwa Savage is not old school, but Tiwa Savage at the same time.
She is.
She's trying to be new school.
Sis.
You know? I respect what she's doing, but sometimes Tiwa Savage you can relax more, you know? Sometimes you should be reaping the fruit of your labor. Jam to almost
No, I hear it. No, I hear it. She's been around for a
No, she
minute.
has. She's done bits. Honestly, she really has.
I'm so proud of her. If you guys don't know who she is, you better get to know her. What are you doing?
How can you not even know who she is? When she came to sing for your king.
Imagine, it's true.
She came to sing all the way from Nigeria. She came to sing for your king, and you don't know her. Imagine. That's a ticket wasted.
Oh Lodo.
Oh no, Joe. This is why you're not passing the exam. Honestly. No, but for real though. She's done this. She's done this.
No, I hear it. I hear it.
New school.
Yeah.
I'll say Rick Hassani.
Who's that?
He's also like a Nigerian singer as well.
Okay.
The one that sang Thunder Fire You.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, but the song is too mad. Because
Oh,
when
I
I'm
have
angry, I'm like, wow, Thunder Fire You.
Okay.
No problem.
Hey, give it to them.
Don't I fire you for all the lies you told me? Don't I fire you for when you cheated on me?
Give it to them. I probably will know it if I hear it.
No, if you hear it, you'll know
Yeah.
it. He's got a really nice voice.
Okay, alright. Alright, you just put me on to someone else. Thank you.
You're very, very well.
And to our viewers as well.
And to the K-dramas.
We thank God. We thank God.
Alhamdulillah Kasira.
Okay, so when was the first time you found your inner strength?
First time I found my inner strength.
Or realised your inner strength? When was the first time you realised your inner strength?
I think it was when I moved from my high school, Queenswood, to a school in Central, Kensington Park School, because Queenswood was very in a bubble. It was an all-girls school, you know, kind of thing.
Okay.
And I really thought life was literally like that. You know, I just thought you get out, walk a little bit, go and get food, go walk for 3 long. Like life is really not like that, you know. And then when I came to Central London, I realized, you know, people will stare, people will say things like, you know, and they will actually throw things as well. Some people, whilst you're physically walking and stuff. So being in London, I went through a lot. You know, I saw people for who they are and that kind of stuff. So I think that's when I realized, okay, you guys have an advantage for having 2 legs, Abi. Now I will show you what advantage is when you are missing one, you know, kind of thing. So that's when I realized, you know, I have to start living life that is normal to me, not everyone else is normal, you know. So yeah.
Okay. I like it. So when you were, how old was you around that time?
I think I was 16, 17.
Okay, okay. So it took a long time for you to find that inner strength then?
Yeah, it took a very, 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 very long time.
Mm.
Yeah, because my family were moving back and forth, you know, so it was hard for me to settle and, you know, make friends. And then some of the friends I had, they were like pity friends, or because the school already told them Zainab is coming, she has a disability, be nice to her. So it was very difficult to find my footing. I didn't know what was real and what was not. It just felt like everything was curated for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just too fake for me.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and it was a boarding
Fake
school,
perfect.
especially when I was meant
Oh, it was
to,
a boarding school.
and this is meant to be my new home, you know.
Wow,
So it was not
that's
great.
a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, it was terrible. I didn't like it.
Wow. There needs to be a movie about Zainab, apparently.
Honestly, people come and give me money for the movie. So since you all want to do movie, no problem.
I'm there, don't worry. Just wait for me, I'm arriving. Who's a famous person that you would want to work with in the future?
Oh, she's dead now. Astaghfirullah, may I still rest in peace. Anyway, Maya Angelou.
Okay, rest
May I still rest in perfect peace. Maya Angelou. I loved her writing.
Okay.
Her writing was, because I write a lot of poetry, and most of her poetry is what got me through those hard times. You know, because there were times when, you know, when I moved from Nigeria to here, the prosthetic was crazy heavy to the point that I couldn't move much, so I had to use a wheelchair. So, and people don't understand that changing from one disability and moving to another kind of aid it's a big step, you know. So it was very different for me, and I was, you know, going through a lot, but reading her stuff, and like she did say, just because I'm wheelchair bound doesn't mean I don't get around. I don't like the word bound, but still, that gave me power, you know, in a way, because it just shows that life doesn't end just because you're sitting down and seeing the world from a different perspective. So yeah.
Here are 3 reasons why the late poet Maya Angelou is a civil rights icon. Number 1, she explored themes of racism and discrimination in her poetry and autobiographies, but also survival and hope.
Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak miraculously clear. I rise.
Angelou was a poet, author, playwright, actor, dancer, director, and more. She wrote her most well-known autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, as a way to cope with the death of her friend Martin Luther King Jr. and highlight her own experiences of racism. The memoir was groundbreaking because she wrote matter-of-factly about the Black experience, and it helped carve out a new space for other Black writers. It became a bestseller and has been widely taught in American schools. It's also one of the most banned books in the US because it includes Angelou's sexual assault, teen pregnancy, and the running theme of racism. Her first poetry anthology, Just Give Me a Cool Drink of Water 'Fore I Die, focused on the struggles of Black Americans and women and was nominated for the Pulitzer Prize. Number 2, she was an activist who worked with legendary leaders during the civil rights movement like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. In 1960, Angelou was moved when she heard MLK speak at a church in Harlem. She decided to raise funds for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the civil rights organization that King was president of. Angelou and comedian Godfrey Cambridge created the play Cabaret for Freedom, and proceeds from the performance went to the organization. She later became the Northern Coordinator for the SCLC's New York office. She was also close friends with Malcolm X and planned to help him build the Organization of African American Unity. But when he was assassinated in 1968, his plans for the new organization dissolved. Number 3, she broke barriers throughout her lifetime. At age 16, she became one of the first Black women streetcar conductors in San Francisco. At first, she was denied an application because of her race, so she went back to the office every day for 2 weeks until she was allowed to apply. In 1972, she wrote Georgia, Georgia, the first screenplay in the U.S. solely credited to a Black woman. The independent film includes themes of gender, sexuality, race, and class. She also became the first Black woman to direct a major motion picture when she directed Down in the Delta. Michelle Obama spoke at Angelou's memorial service after her death in 2014.
She paved the way for me and Oprah and so many others.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're such an amazing person.
Stop.
Literally, like you're actually amazing.
Thank you.
There's so many things about you that I actually, honestly, like you're gonna have to come back because I absolutely love hearing you speak.
Don't worry, just make a spare room for me. I'll sleep there. That 1 hour journey, we don't need to do.
Okay, we'll make sure. Okay, so, what would you say to the people that doubted you?
Keep doubting me. I pray, no, please. I'm begging you, keep doubting me, keep hating, keep saying horrible things. I love it. Like, that's what I want from you. Because it gives me energy.
No,
like, you don't understand. It's not even a thing about, oh my God, please hate. No, like, please do it. Because God really loves me, like, so much. So everything you say to me, it will backfire. And it will hurt you times 2. So yeah, just keep doing it, please. Just for the sake of me.
I love it. I love it, babe.
You can't control people. They say what they want to say.
Facts.
last, I still have money more than you.
Hey, let them know. Hey,
Period.
yeah. So, what is a historical figure that inspires you? Is there a historical figure that really like, you're like, yeah, I love that person?
Ooh, a historical figure. Yes, Yar'Adua. It sounds so weird. So this Yar'Adua was meant to be the president of Nigeria the same time of Barack Obama. He was literally like Barack Obama. He would have made like Nigeria way better. But then he died before his time.
What advice would you give to these watchers watching right now?
Whether you have a disability, whether you don't have a disability, just learn to live in the present and be very positive about your life and manifest a lot, because being happy, being positive is a very productive thing to do, because you never know where you're going to actually end up, and you don't know where that happiness, you don't know what you can give someone else as well. So just be very self-aware, check in on yourself a lot, and just love you. As hard as it sounds, love yourself. Because if you don't, honestly, you will never find that love to fill you than getting it from yourself.
That's good advice.
I can't stress myself.
No, I love it because I think, especially since the pandemic, it's kind of, all of our brains are a bit all over the place, and we know what we want, but it's about believing that it will actually happen.
Yeah.
And a final question is, what do you think disabled black people deserve?
Everything. By everything, I mean you deserve to be the first in line. You deserve to have access to whatever building that you need to get into, whether because of your skin color or because of your ability or disability. You deserve everything. Honestly, if it's that first piece of cake you want, you deserve it. Whatever you believe you deserve that's exactly what you deserve. So yeah.
Pick your brain a bit about the fact that, making a career for yourself is very different. And obviously Love Island has just started, and as we all know, the pathway for most Love Island, cast members when they come out is brand deals and modelling contracts and all these other bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And there isn't, to my knowledge, there isn't actually a show anymore because Undateables has been cancelled.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and I think it's time for a new show to be produced.
Yeah.
And it needs to be put out there for disabled people so that they get an opportunity. I just really wanted to get to know what your thoughts are about getting started, how hard it actually is, what's the truth about it.
It's not to sugarcoat anything, it's very, 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 very hard, because you also need to make sure you're in the right mindset as well and know what you're getting yourself into. Because, a lot, for example, Love Island, a lot of these able-bodied, people, they get themselves ready for the mindset, I'm going to be in a bikini, but that's how far it goes. I have to make sure my body looks great. But, with people with disabilities, you need to think deeper, than that. It's about comfortability. There's a lot that goes, into it. And when you think about yourself first, then you now also have to move to the point where you're thinking, now how do I get into this space as well, which is also hard. So it just all starts with you being comfortable with yourself, posting yourself and showing people that you really don't you don't care. You don't send anybody. You get what I mean?
Heck.
Honestly. And then once you start, I feel like once we, I don't even want to say you, once we start doing stuff like that, then we will get that representation. But let me use this for an example. You see a lot of people that are gay, you all know how hard it was for them to get to where they are right now. And they didn't get to where they were by just sitting, just chilling. They brought themselves out, and a lot of them did rallies, they did all this kind of stuff. And I know a lot of people with disabilities, we can't physically do that, but the little that we can do to represent ourselves on social media and stuff, that is what we need to do. Because really actually, you won't get anything by not saying anything. You won't won't get the representation that you've been crying for if you don't ask for that representation.
No,
So,
it's
yeah.
facts. I completely agree. And the thing is, I've always encouraged, especially a lot of my friends who are disabled and who are also black, like, I always encourage them to put themselves out there. I know that it's hard. I know it's not easy. And disability in general, like, to all my friends who are non-black, so basically who are white, or from other backgrounds like India or China or whatever, I know that it's difficult for you as well. And I think that taking that step forward is really, really important, because then our voices will get heard more, and you know, the more we all come out unapologetically ourselves, the more we're going to get seen. And the thing is, that is how I find the people for these interviews, is literally because you've put yourself out there. If you don't put yourself out there, there's going to be like a company like mine, you know what I mean, or like Zainab's, and if you're supposed to be there and you're not posting yourself, how do we know you exist? Do you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And the thing is, let's be real, able-bodied people, when they create a lot of businesses, Lee is an exception to the rule. Lee Lawrence, in our last episode, he is an exception to the rule. Most black people, or most people who are, especially in the entertainment industry, they prioritize themselves first. They don't like, you know, screenwrite us into their movies. They don't interview us for particular. They don't include us.
Afterthought.
Yeah, we're an afterthought, and so I think I'm not holding it against anyone, but I do think that, you know, people around you, they're not going to encourage you to put yourself out there. But we are disabled, or we are people with disabilities, and you know, we put ourselves out there a lot, and we prepare ourselves in a way that that allows other companies to kind of find us, essentially. Do you know what I mean?
And you have to prepare yourself as well, because the internet is a it's a new world, you know.
Yeah, it is scary.
People feel very, very confident to say things, but that's why I'm saying you need to prepare your mind, because people will say some things that you've never even heard before that will really, really, really hurt you. But you need to put yourself in that space where it's like, I'm not there anymore. That is not who I am. This sad person with a disability, that is not who you are. If you're trying to start something new, you have to leave all of that in the past, because there's going to be new insults that will be coming. And as the new insults are coming, keep pushing them to the back as well. Because really and truly, it's all about you. It's really all about you. Everyone else is literally living in your world.
Literally. Where can they find, because you said you're an author, so where can they find your books?
So we just actually removed our books from Amazon recently. So they can just contact me right now to get the book. So, on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere.
Alright, I'll make sure to put it in the description below. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience?
Just be happy. I know it sounds like, you know, such a weird thing to say, but this is one thing I grew up with, and I tell a lot of people I'm around. Happiness is so free. So instead of spending that 2 minutes of your life being sad, which can turn into an eternity, spend that 2 minutes laughing and see the kind of joy it will bring your life. So yeah.
MashaAllah, that's nice. Okay, well, salamu alaikum to all of you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. In the next episode, there's going to be someone pretty awesome once again. I just want to thank you, Zainab, for coming on my channel. I really appreciate it. And I want you to know that anything you need, Disabled Power Network or Tobi's TV is always here to support and guide you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, you want to make me cry on the TV. It's like public knowledge. Come
Listen, bring it. Bring all the emotions. I'm so grateful. God bless you. May Allah guide you.
Amen. Inshallah. May Allah guide you too, and we hope to see more happiness and success for us as the years come by.
Amen.
Amen.
Bye, guys.
I got a few surprises for you too, baby.
We try, okay?